Okay, so starting with the commentary section of my video, I'm going to go ahead and sap this lock. And I'm trying to get cheap shot on the druid before he roars me out. I'm able to. Now I'm trying to wait for my kidney before the mage gets in line of sight. Somehow he gets out of my gouge, but I'm able to kidney him now. And he's going to trinket now because he knows he's about to get shattered. But I go ahead and garrote him and rupture him so I can get a bunch of bleeds on him. And I'm just going to sit this clone, like I don't really have a choice anyways, but he's on stun DR, so I'm kind of just waiting right now. And I almost got a re-stealth, but I got dotted out. But now I'm able to get the cheap shot and into a kidney. And I'm going to blind the lock. The mage is pumping a lot of damage into him. He actually gets resisted on his counterspell, so we would have killed him right there. But he has a lot of wound poison on him, so the druid's just going to end up dying anyways. Alright, so getting into the second game, we're fighting a druid and a rogue. Go ahead and look for this rogue or druid. I wasn't able to find him during perception, but I'm just staying by the mage. I go ahead and cheap shot the druid, put a rupture on him, vanish before the rogue gets on me. I'm trying to sap the rogue out. I couldn't find him, so I go ahead and reopen. I blind this rogue, and I actually vanish his blind. Ship poison him, and he vanishes and cheap shots me, but I trinket. I was able to evasion his kidney him, and the druids are actually already dead by the mage. Alright, so getting into the next game, we're fighting a rogue and a priest. Go ahead and look for him. I find him with my perception. I cheap shot him and gets resisted, so he gouges me. At this point, I'm just trying to get another stun on the rogue before he gets out of line of sight. Go ahead and kidney him and blind the priest. I already got priestess trinket, so now I'm just kind of playing the long game. I'm going to go ahead and put a bleed on this rogue and line of sight a bit, and cloak that dot off. So I actually garrote the priest here instead of cheap shots, so that was a pretty big mistake. It actually broke the sheep. But I'm able to just evasion the blind and keep going on this rogue. I just keep putting a rupture on him, and now I'm trying to line of sight, but I got feared. So I'm just going to sit this in case the rogue tries to switch to me. I'm able to go back on the rogue before he gets a re-stealth or vanishes, and I gouge him. So now I'm just trying to wait for the mage to get a sheep on the priest, and I go ahead and kidney the rogue. He deaths that first sheep, but the mage is able to get a second one. And I just keep putting bleeds on this rogue so there's no way he can get away. And I shiv the priest while I try to get one more re-stealth. Go ahead and get it. And I go ahead and shout step to cheap shot the rogue, and that was the game. I was playing a RAS server before this, so I was used to sheep removing dots, but in TBC that it doesn't remove any dots. So just make sure if you're playing with a mage that you don't garrote the off target or the CC target unless you're going to switch them. Alright, so getting to the next game, I sap this rogue. I see the druid actually, he's going for the mage, so I'm trying to go over to him and cheap shot him. It gets resisted, so I vanish and cheap shot him. Kidney him. The rogue trinkets the mage's sheep. And I tried to blind him from stealth, which was a bad move because he popped evasion. So if a rogue pops evasion, you want to make sure that you cheap shot first and then blind him. So I'm just sitting this, but the mage is kind of getting owned, so I have to trinket. And I put a small kidney onto the rogue and switched back to the druid with the mage. And we're able to get him down. Now it's just me versus rogue. I go ahead and shadow step shiv him. Try to put a rupture on him. Put a rupture and then just kite him a bit. I'm trying to get a re-stealth here. Go ahead and get it. And he actually tries to stealth a little too early with the rupture, and I'm able to sap him. And he ends up leaving the game because he knows it's GG. Alright, for the last part, I'm going to do some duels for you guys. Go ahead and duel this warrior. Pre-med and try to cheap shot him. Go ahead and try to get a kidney after this. It gets resisted. So I evasion when he berserkers. Put a rupture on him and I start kiting him while I wait for my energy. I go ahead and trinket the intercept. Alright, so now that I got exposed armor and my trinket popped, I'm trying to pump as much damage to this warrior as I can. I cheap shot him to get some combo points, and I try to kite him while I get my energy up a little bit, but now I'm trying to go in. He fears me. Intercept. He gets me really low here, but I'm able to blind him. And he trinkets, but I gouge him when he goes in battle stance. And I kidney him. Now I'm just trying to put a rupture on him. Go ahead and prep and vanish so I can cheap shot him. And I eviscerate him. Trying to finish him off here. have evasion for a few more seconds, and he gets my cheat death and gets me down. That was a good duel. Alright, so going straight into this other duel, I cheap shot him into a kidney. Use my trinket, of course. He has a shield on, so he's not going to take too much, but go ahead and try to get an exposed armor, pop evasion, but he gets a mace stun on me. So after this, I get an exposed armor, actually, finally. He has an imp hamstring on me, so he can intercept me, but I vanish. I cheap shot him. Rupture him. Trinket that fear. Now I kidney him. He trinkets. I'm just pumping as much damage while I have exposed armor into him right now, while I'm still trying to kite while I'm waiting on my energy. Go ahead and blind him. Sorry, at this point I'm just waiting on my stun DRs. Probably should have bandaged, but it's okay, I didn't really need it too much. I still have prep. Go ahead and re-stealth into a cheap shot. I shadow step viscerate him, and into a small kidney, and I finish him off here. Alright, so starting this last duel, I cheap shot him. Go ahead and kidney. Trying to dump all my energy while I have it. I'm gonna gouge him into a Garrote. He's gonna stun for him probably, so I'm gonna blind him. I actually get feared here, so I trinket blind him. He trinkets, so I gouge him DR. Shiv him. Try to pump as much damage into him, and then I'm gonna kidney him. It gets resisted. He has a bunch of dots on me, but I'm gonna cloak pretty soon. Shadow step, viscerate. Deadly throw his heal. Alright, so I'm trying to cloak here, but I get feared right before. This is looking kind of bad for me. I shadow step over to him, cheap shot him. Try to kidney him. Gets resisted. And I'm just trying to pump as much damage into him, gouge him. And I'm able to eviscerate him before the dot kills me. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you guys like commentary videos like this, make sure you sub and like down below. And I'll see you guys in TBC.